Okay guys, so I've been working on that for a little while now, and I'm going to show it off to you. Surprise! I got funky with flags. I actually looked on the Minecraft forums to see how people design flags, and I couldn't really find anything, so I just had to go at it myself and tried to see what I came up with, and I don't think that looks too bad. I like the colour scheme, and I like the towers actually as a whole. They are a little bit different from these two. These ones are a bit more rounded than this one. Plus the windows here are a little different too. Now, this could be modified further if I wanted to. For example, I could put iron bars here or whatever. I mean, this is sort of still in the work in progress phase, but the general part of it is done. I don't really like that, to be honest. But the general main sort of idea has kind of come together now, and I'm really liking it. My pick isn't though. It's nearly worn out again, but that's that, I guess. So yeah, I kind of added these flags because after all it's an entrance. I did think about going with like maybe a wooden style roof that sort of pointed up, but it didn't really look right for the tower sort of design that I had going on. So I decided to go with this instead and see what I could make out of this. And that to me just looks a little better, I think, than trying to make it go with an old wooden style roof. So I decided to go with that, and I think that's going to be the way to go. So with that done, now we move on to the final part of the Fretfort's actual design, certainly the walls and castle and so forth part of it, and that is to add some decoration on the inside and obviously some decoration on the outside, which is also going to function as defences. Now, I have an idea of what I want to do with this, and it involves cobblestone walls, stone bricks, and stone brick steps and cobblestone. So we're not going to need Earth Destroyer at the moment, neither are we going to need beaver, but we are going to need these things. So my idea here is wherever there isn't a slab, to first do this. So once we've kind of got one, I'm just going to do this wall kind of as an example, and then I'm going to probably work on the rest of it. And here I'm probably going to leave blank because it would look a little odd. I don't know yet. And then to put a wall here like so, and then to put cobblestone like so. Now I'm going to go so far up with this, and the reason I'm doing the wall is it prevents spiders from climbing up. I could alternate it, but that would require a lot more cobblestone than I really have, so that's not really what I wanted to do now, is it? So I'm going to build a dirt staircase just in case we happen to fall off again, and the idea is that I just climb up like this until we are yeah, this height. Basically, I think it's going to be this high. I'm not entirely sure. This is something which is a bit flexible. I knew that was going to happen. And to kind of just highlight it with these stone brick steps, looking at it, this looks kind of weird. But I don't know a whole lot of what I could do with it, because if I want it to function as a sort of like an anti-spider thing, then I'm going to need to do something a bit different to that. I mean, this is what it would look like on the inside, and I like how there's two on either side, so it kind of matches. That's what I would kind of want to do. I want to see what it looks like if I keep on going and I go a block higher than what's currently done, and I'm losing everything all over the place, so that's not good. Whether what we did originally looked better or whether this looks better. Where it actually meets up with the stone bricks and kind of like adjoins together. How does that look? I think that looks it's hard to say. I don't really think it makes a huge difference, to be honest, but I do think I like the separated look better personally. So here we can't really do anything in terms of defences with this because there's a great big hole in it. Same goes for that part, but certainly for these walls, this one especially, we want to kind of add something just to make it seem less bland. So we're going to do that. And as far as the outside goes, it's going to be sort of the same kind of thing, really. But I don't really know what I could do to kind of sort of prevent spider. I mean, I could do this, but that sort of gives it like that latticed effect, and that would look a little odd though, I think, sort of like raised off the ground like that. I don't think that would look all that great. It's not a huge problem, honestly, if spiders can get in, because well, I guess if they spawned there, they could potentially climb over and cause me hassle as I'm coming out of the cave, which is really what I don't want, and I want to kind of prevent that. So that was the initial idea, but I don't know whether I could really prevent it in any way that looks halfway decent. I'm going to try doing the alternating pattern and see what that does. Now, if I go with this, it's going to require a lot more cobble than what I had initially planned to expend on this particular part. But how does that look? That to me just looks too skinny. If that's the right word to use, I'm not really sure, but it just doesn't seem as good. There's slabs and stairs, obviously, that we can use, but with those, I don't really know what I would do with them, to be honest. I could maybe sort of separate it halfway and do something like that. Let me try what that would look like. But I think that would look a little odd more than anything, sort of like a break in the wall. If I went with, say, we go up to maybe here, and then do that. Well, no, not that. And we do this. No, not that. Oh dear. That, there we go. And then this. How would that look? That surprisingly doesn't look as bad as I thought. Now, spiders should get caught up in that. Now, I don't know whether... Is that treated as like a space that the player could walk into, or a mob or an entity or whatever? Where's my shovel? Where is my... Oh, it's right there. There we go. Now let's just take this down and let's see. Now what I want to know about stairs is can a monster get caught up? Well, a spider specifically. Can a spider get caught up in that? And I'm not able to place it down because if you toss an item at it, it bounces off the stair. Now if I use the stair normally, I would climb it. Now I don't know how that behavior affects spiders. I think I am going to go for it though, because it works. I believe it works anyway, and it should keep the spiders out. Now, if they want to get all fancy, they could climb this and try and go and do that, and no, they wouldn't even be... They'd have to kind of drift over. It would be very hard for a spider to kind of get all the way. I would be very surprised if one got all the way sort of over into the fort. So, I mean, I'm not going to go defense crazy and try and make sure that it works 100% of the time. I just want something that's going to block out most of the monsters. We've already blocked out skeletons, creepers, and zombies, and I can't do anything about Endermen. So, the only mob that's really left that we need is kind of to take care of is spiders. And I think that's going to be the way to go with the spiders. Now, one thing I could do is try it with these normal stone stairs. Now, my fear with doing this is it's not going to look all that great, because these things, I don't rate these things much. It looks okay, but it looks like there's kind of a chunk missing in the wall, honestly. I guess we could try it in succession and kind of see what it looks like in succession. It doesn't look terrible. I do prefer, though, the sort of highlight look that we've got. I kind of prefer that look personally. Let's just compare them side by side and kind of see what we get. It's all about trial and error with this. I don't know what's going to work and what isn't. I prefer that. Instantly I can tell that kind of... You can almost not tell it's there. It's that hidden. If I wanted to camouflage it maybe, then it would look better. But honestly I don't really want to camouflage it too much. So I made all those walls for no reason, but... they'll come in handy for something no doubt later on, so it's not a total waste. So with that in mind, I'm going to work on that, and I will catch you later on when I've finished this, because this is going to be tedious. Not only have I got to do the entire inside, but I've also got to do the entire outside. So that's going to take some time, but once that is done, then the main structure of the fret fort that we've got going on here is going to be finished. The only things that need to be added then are the houses that we're going to have in here, a better light system for both the sort of towers and in here as well. And aside from that, I think then probably some pathways. I think we'll be pretty much done with this. So I'm going to work on that for a little bit, and then we'll probably come back for the end of the episode. And then next episode I think I am going to work on the cave spider thing and get that going before we start work on actually building homes and pathways and adding lights and everything else to this. It's just good to see it finished now. Even though we've not got all of this done yet, just everything is kind of built and it looks pretty good, I think. I'm very happy with the way that it's turned out. I didn't expect for it to turn out as good as what it did. A lot of monsters out here now because everything's lit underground. But I haven't really seen it from this view. That's pretty good actually, if I don't say so myself. I think is how that saying goes. I'm scrambled now. I've been working on it for a while. So yeah, I'm going to work on that, and I'm going to be happy to see this finished. Not because I want to get rid of the project, don't get me wrong, I enjoy the project, but it's just nice to see a big build like this finally finished, because I've put a lot of time and effort into it. I've spent many hours on this build alone to get it finished, and to actually see it finished is going to be pretty good. And after that, I don't have too much more to take care of before we actually move on to a new build somewhere else, because that was always going to be the plan. Once I'm done at this base, I don't want to hang around here and stop in one spot. I want to move on and kind of explore different parts of this world and see what it has to offer me. I have some other ideas that I would like to sort of implement, not just for now, for the upcoming 1.7 update as well, and probably even beyond that. I have no intentions of sort of stopping this Let's Play, because it's probably one of my most favourite series. I'm not going to go ahead and say it's my absolute favourite. I would say it's probably tied with Vanilla Go-Go, but then again I also enjoy the tutorial series, so I couldn't really pick a favourite, like an actual proper favourite, because I enjoy everything that we kind of do here on my channel, otherwise I wouldn't be doing it. So yeah, but overall I'm happy with the build. Once this is done I think it'll look even better, and then all we've got to do at that point is kind of make it an actual proper working fort where villagers are going to inhabit it. We're going to have animals running around in here and some hitched up. I'm probably going to have to take a wander back over to the horse hut again and probably tame a few more horses. We might have to go on a bit of a saddle quest to get a couple more saddles so that I can hitch up some horses around this area and possibly get some more horse armor. I'm thinking of heading to the Nether for that, because I do need a better area to build a blaze farm. That is something which I'm probably going to look into probably after finishing this base. Maybe while we're working on the next one is what I'm thinking. So yeah, I'm going to work on this as I say, and I will be back later when I have finished it, and at that point we will take it from there. So I will once again be right back, guys. Alright guys, so I've worked on that for a while and I've wrapped it up, and as you can see I actually took down the ones on the inside of the fort, and the reason I did that is I tried it and it looked a bit odd, to be honest. It didn't look right for the inside. I prefer kind of the blank walls, and we'll notice that less when there are buildings and so forth in here. So instead I just stuck to doing it on the outside, which is now complete, and I think it turned out pretty good actually. Shut that door, of course, and there's not really much that we can view from this side because most of it is kind of buried into the land, but I also did a little bit of land reshaping here, and I've still got to go back over this with some bone meal and kind of tidy it up a little bit because it does look a little bit of a mess at the moment, but we can solve that very easily and very quickly. Basically, probably I'll do that off camera. Just need to go around and put some bone meal down just to tidy it all up and make it look more complete, which is the look I'm going for. A little bit there, but nothing too significant. This is where the main work was done. So this concludes the main exterior and the main structure itself. This is the best wall, I think. The main structure of the fret fort. So the only thing that is left now to do really is kind of populate it with animals and villagers and build homes and fix up the lighting situation in here, and that is going to be just about it really. Got a bit more over there, but I'm gonna pop in here. So that's really the only thing I need to look at now, is getting a lighting setup in here. And we've got to work on the boathouse and little bits and pieces like that, but the next thing I'm going to do on the fort is going to be to kind of deal with the lighting situation in what we've already built. Then I'll probably build the boathouse. I think next is probably what we'll work on and get that finished up, and then I'll probably build houses in here and get all of that stuff done, and put pathways in and put some proper lighting in, probably using the daylight sensors, so I can take down all of the torches in here as well. And then at that point we'll probably look into populating it with animals, iron golems, and eventually the last part, which will be the villagers. So we'll have a properly functioning fort which the villagers will be able to kind of explore and live in, and they can tour the castle and so forth. And I think it will be great when it's finally finished. It's really taking shape now. I think we've come a long way since that frame I built however many episodes back. It's been a long time working on this project, but it's been very rewarding so far, and the best bit is still to come, obviously, in terms of actually completing the whole build. But the very next thing I need to do is kind of get rid of all the torches on here and probably work on the inside a little bit in getting some lights up. And I'm probably going to put in another floor below here where I'm going to put some lamps in or whatever, and that's going to be a lot of lamps that's going to be needed, so I'll have to go to the nether for a while and get some glowstone for that, but that's another thing I can do sort of off camera. And I'll be able to then finish up the main structure, and then it'll be on to just doing the rest of it really. So next episode we are going to be working back in the cave here, and for that in particular we are going to be working on getting the cave spiders set up. I'm going to work on that next episode down here and rig this up properly, hopefully. Anyway, that's the aim, to get this finished up. And oh, I see that. That isn't good. I don't like that. This is something else that we're going to address very soon. I'm going to put some lights in the ceiling. We'll probably spend an episode doing that. I've got to wrap up the ravine project still. That's something that we've not done yet. The farms, I think, are pretty much done, but we do have to build a cocoa bean farm. Here I want to work on what I want to put here, which I'm going to keep a secret for the time being, but the fort will have to be finished before I can do that. Down here is pretty much complete. There's not much I want to add here. What else? I want to put storage rooms and so forth into the tree farm, but that's a very minor thing. We'll probably work on that. Might even get time to do that next episode, because the cave spider farm won't take all that long. So I'll probably work on getting that done next episode. We have this area here as well to kind of work on, where the zombie grinder is. This area here, it doesn't really have much in it yet. I'm thinking of putting a snow farm somewhere here with a snow golem set up. I want to incorporate the library, but I know where I want to put the library. I think I want to put it in a secluded part of the cave, and I think I'm going to make a pathway, and it's going to go above the furnace room, kind of back in the wall there, is where I want to put the library. But I don't know really what else I want to do, because I built this area and I definitely think it looks better, but the problem I have with this area is that it doesn't really have any use yet. I don't know what I really want to build here, because the tree farm is right there. I'll have to have a think about it. If you have any ideas of what I should put into these different places, then I will most certainly read the comments, even though I am recording this quite far ahead now. How things have worked out. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to upload these as fast as I would like, but I'm still reading the comments of each episode. It just may take several episodes before I actually get around to doing what you guys say. So I'm not sure at the moment what I want to do with this area. I know that we've got the zombie grinder going on down here, and we kind of just have this giant space that I'm not using at the moment, which I think eventually I'll come up with something for. Now, what I was going to do on this wall right here, unfortunately I'm not going to be able to do anymore, at least very easily. So we may have to rethink what I want to put on this wall. That's not such a problem. I mean, the storage room is right here, so I can't do too much with it, but I'll probably think of something to pretty it up or make it look nice or whatever. Probably come up with something for that fairly soon. The sugarcane farm and all that stuff is kind of complete now, so really the main things I still need to do in here are the ravine, some lights in here, get that chest out of there, and kind of want to work on what I want to put on that wall, and then I think that will be it. I could put what I want on this wall on that wall. It doesn't really matter. It may look better on that wall because I've got more room to kind of play around with on that wall, and we may end up doing that, but then I don't have anything to put on this wall, if that makes sense. So then I would have to rethink of what I want to do over here, but again, that's something that I could think about. I mean, I don't have much room at all here to play with. I have one block, so that is really not very much that I could do anything with. I may just end up leaving it blank, and probably just leaving it like that, because I don't have any room. So again, that's something to think about. But for right now, I'm going to head out of here, guys. I hope that you've enjoyed today's episode, and I hope to see you in the next episode, when hopefully we will be able to get a fully working cave spider farm, so that I can start and get string and spider eyes and obviously experience from that as well. And then at that point we will go back probably and look at the tree farm again. So yeah, so many slimes around here. For some reason recently there's been way more slimes here than ever, so I kind of have a little problem with all these little squishes, so that's probably something else I'll need to look into, but at least for now I'm going to leave it. So until next time, guys, see you later and have a good day.